3 out for lesson 1-10, the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane is the intersection of two number lines, a horizontal and a vertical number line. The x-axis is your horizontal number line. The y-axis is your vertical number line. Now, when you intersect two axes, that's the plural of axes. For example, if I intersected two of them, like this, I have just broken it up into 4 quadrants, 4 different regions. Okay? The 4 regions that the coordinate plane is divided into are called quadrants, and they're always labeled in Roman numerals. Okay? We'll have a picture below, and I'll be able to explain this a little bit better at that time. An ordered pair is the location of a point. It's the x and y value for a point. For example, -3, 2 is an ordered pair. They're always given in parentheses so that you can distinguish one point from another point, where one point begins and ends versus another point beginning and ending. The x-coordinate is the first number in an ordered pair. It shows the position right or left of the y-axis. The y-coordinate is the second number of an ordered pair. It shows the position above or below the x-axis. So you always go right or left first, up and down second. And the origin is where the x and the y-axis intersect. Here's a good picture. Okay? Here we have the x-axis is in red, the y-axis is in blue. As you can clearly see, the quadrants are labeled in Roman numerals. You start here, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Counterclockwise, starting at your upper right, going counterclockwise, always given in Roman numerals. Okay? The origin is where your x and y-axis intersect, right there. These points are coordinate points. Okay? When graphing or naming ordered pairs, you always read the x value before the y value, alphabetical order. Always go to the right or the left first before going up or down. Points are always labeled with a capital block style letter. For example, point A here, we started at the origin, we went 3 units to the right, and 5 units up, we came to point A, and we label it 3, 5. 3 units to the right, 5 units up. You always go left and right before you go up and down. Think of it this way. You have to get to the ladder before you can travel up or down the ladder. So always go left and right, then go up and down. Now, we're going to graph the following points on the coordinate plane, and then name the quadrant or axis in which each point lies. So here I have a nice little coordinate plane. If they're not already labeled with x and y, you should label them. Mine are labeled, so we're good. You should label if you don't label your values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have to assume you're counting by ones. If you count by something other than ones, you have to label your graphs. Here we have the first point. We're going to graph the point -3, 2, which means we started our origin. We go to the left 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and up 2 units, 1, 2. So the final point is here, and we label it with a capital A. And the rest, erase everything else, so it's not confusing. But you start at your origin, travel 3 units to the left, 2 units up, and that's your final point. B says start at the origin, go 0 units right or left, and 4 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is letter B. Letter C says start at your origin. You always start at your origin. Travel 3 units to the right, 4 units up. So here's letter C. And D says travel 6 units to the right, 4, 5, 6. No units up or down. Here's letter B. So now we have graphed all our points. Now we need to name the quadrant or the axis at which each point lies. Right? If you remember, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Right? So point A lands in quadrant 2. Always labeled with Roman numerals. If you notice point B, some people will say it's in quadrant 3, some people will say it's in quadrant 4. It's not in quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. It lies on the boundary line between quadrant 3 and quadrant 4, which happens to be the y-axis. So letter B lands in the y-axis. It's not on a quadrant, it's on an actual axis. Letter C, if we find letter C, we see that that is in quadrant 1. And letter D, again, is on the boundary line between quadrant 1 and quadrant 4, which puts it on the x-axis. Excuse me. All right. All right, last thing here. We're going to write the coordinates of each of the following points. And I've given you the x-axis, the y-axis, the origin, and the quadrants. So we look at letter A. And you'll notice they labeled every other line, so they're still counting by ones. Letter A, you'll notice, is 4 units to the right and 4 units up. So that would be 4 units to the right, 4 units up, and we need to put it in four pairs. Letter B, if we find letter B, you start at the origin, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, and 3 units down. So that would be -3, -3, 3 units to the left and 3 units down. Letter C here, starting at the origin, we're going to travel 3 units to the right and 6 units down. So that would be +3 and -6. And last but not least, letter D, starting at the origin, we're going to go 5 units to the left and 2 units up. So 5 units to the left and 2 units up is -5, +2, put it in parentheses, and you're done. The simple matter of being able to graph things and being able to indicate what point it is or what axis it lies on. Once you understand the coordinate plane, it's actually fairly simple to do. And if you notice, you should notice this, everything in quadrant 1, your first value will be positive and your second value will be positive. Everything in quadrant 2, your x value will be negative, and y value will be positive. In quadrant 3, your x value is negative and your y value is negative. And in quadrant 4, your x value is positive and y value is negative. Those are some handy little tips to remember when dealing with the coordinate plane.